our first storyteller tonight. I've always felt a heart connection to him. And I will say he is on crutches right now, but I'm sure you'll agree with me, he is still good looking and stories are still flowing out of his mouth. Let's welcome Baba Jamal Koran.
Everybody all right? If it's not, it's what? Your own fault. All we can do is show up and do what we have to do. Yes, indeed. I have the drum up here, so I may as well play it at least for 30 seconds, right? Yeah. Somebody taught me this little thing. I don't even know what it means, but it sounds good. Here it goes. Abantele djembe, mi efe djembe, djembe djembe, djembe djembe. The drum I'm playing is called the djembe drum. And I think abantele djembe means I love to play djembe, mi efe djembe, djembe djembe, djembe djembe. Yeah, that's a... Can you hear this instrument? Long time ago, about 1981. I guess that's not too long ago. Long enough, time catching up, boy. I turned around, I had gray eyebrows. Lord, what's going on? There was a storyteller, his name was Ifat Mjuro. He was from Zimbabwe. And he played the real Mbira. This is a version of it. And he had this story, and I want to share this story with you, but I want to share it to you because there's a reason behind it. Here we go. Jamakinda, 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 clap your hands. Jamakinda, Jamakinda, Jamakinda. Jamakinda, Jamakinda, Jamakinda. That's good. Jamakinda, Jamakinda, Jamakinda. Jamakinda was a local man. And all the parents would send their children to him to learn different things because he knew how to carve wood, how to milk cows, how to milk goats. He knew a lot of things, and he taught the children all of these things, and he would sit the children down and tell them stories about life and living. If you had to share one thing with a child today, a teenager, what would that be? Somebody raise their hand. Let me see. What would that be? Whoa. Yes, right back there. Stand up, please. Let me hear what you have to say. Anybody can learn to draw. Somebody else. I need somebody right here. Right here. What would you teach a young child? What would you tell them? Oh, y'all too young. Yeah. I want somebody that knows their age. Yes. Say it again. Simple acts of kindness. Yes. Clean up because someone is going to follow you. Yeah. Yes. Communicate with a person, not with just your cell phone. You got it yet? Show respect. Say it again. Dance like you know what you're doing to music. And so Jamakinda, he added that to his list because he had some modern youth, you know what I'm saying? And one thing about him, he always wore his hat. And one day, little girl said, Jamakinda, yes? How come you always have your hat on? He said, because I like my hat on. That didn't suffice for her, and every day she would come back. Could I see what's underneath your hat? No. I won't tell anybody. You will not see it. But finally, one day he could hold it back no longer. He said, do you promise you won't tell anyone? And she said, I'm not going to tell nobody, Jamal Kenda. And you sure? I'm not going to tell nobody for real. And he pulled his hat off and two big ears flopped out like that. She said, wow, you have ears big like a donkey. And he put his hat back on. He said, and you must not tell anyone about those ears. I'm not going to tell. It's not really funny. It's not funny, Jamal. Everybody has something, you know. And so she promised she wouldn't tell. She was on her way home, and she said, I'm not going to tell, I'm not going to tell, I'm not going to tell, I'm not going to tell. And who should be coming walking down the other way but her brother? Hey, sis, how you doing? I don't know nothing. What are you talking about? I don't know nothing about nothing. Huh? Where you coming from? I ain't come from no place. You come from Jamal Kenda. He took off his hat for you, didn't he? I don't even know Jamal Kenda. I ain't tell. And she ran all the way home. And every day her brother bugged her about it, and he asked her questions, and she kept denying she knew anything, and she couldn't hold it back any longer. And she said, I can't tell anybody, and then everybody gonna be wondering when they come for the big feast we're having at our house, and I'm not gonna. And she said, I know what I do. She went to the forest, and there was a tree she used to sit by when she would cry, because her mother and father would tell her to do things she didn't want to do, but she had to do them anyway. And she whispered in that tree, Jamal Kenda has ears big like a donkey. Whoo, she was relieved. Told somebody. She didn't notice that there was a red mark on that tree and several trees beside it. They were getting ready to cut those trees down. When she came back in 2 days, the trees were gone, and she couldn't talk to that tree anymore. Jamal Kenda, he always looked at her with jaundiced eye every time she came. Did you tell anybody? I'm not telling nobody, Jamal Kenda. I have to be honest, Jamal Kenda. I told a tree. He said, well, if all you told was a tree, that's okay. So there they were at the big feast. Relatives came from miles around. And guess what? You're supposed to say what? Woo. The father had ordered some new furniture. You're supposed to say what kind? A table, some chairs. And what were they made out of? Jamal Kenda, Jamal Kenda, Jamal Kenda. Y'all got it. Jamal Kenda, Jamal Kenda, Jamal Kenda. Jamal Kenda, Jamal Kenda. We are gathered here together to celebrate family unity. Everyone hold their heads, hold hands and bow your heads. And now my baby girl is going to say the blessing. And she got ready to say the blessing, and suddenly she heard, Jamal Kenda has ears big like a donkey. I didn't say anything. So who said that? Who's playing at the table? Now put your head down. We're not having any of this. And they bowed their heads again, but again they heard, Jamal Kenda has ears big like a donkey. And the little girl realized the table was talking. She jumped up, ran out. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody. And she started running. Her brother ran after her. And she was running to Jamal Kenda's compound. And when she got there was no Jamal Kenda. No animals. No chickens, no goats, no cows, no nothing. And it was that way for days. The children, they wanted to talk to their beloved Jamal Kenda, wondering why he left. Somebody must have done something to him. I didn't do anything to him. I miss Jamal Kenda. I love Jamal Kenda. I respect Jamal Kenda. And out of the woods they heard, so you miss Jamal Kenda. Jamal Kenda! And they ran and everybody hugging on him. And they said, whoa, you don't have your hat on. And look, you have ears big like a donkey. He said, no, I have ears that are mine. And no one laughs at my ears. No, they're not funny. They just laid along. Well, how come you took off your hat? Because I learned to love myself. I learned to love my ears. I've learned to be appreciative of those people who are close to me. And I learned how to love just one more degree because of that little girl right there. We all have something that we want to cover up, put away, leave alone. And maybe some things need to be that way. But in these days and times, the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that you have learned, it needs to be passed on. And no one can do it like those sitting in this room can do it. No one can speak it like those sitting in this room can speak it. So no matter who you talk to, or how you talk to them, or when you talk to them, talk to one of these young folks. Give them praise where they need it. Give them instruction when they require it. And show them love at any given time. That's for Ifat Mujoro. That's for you. Thank you so much.